Hi guys, this is Moran Pober, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to build a perception of a successful businessman even if you have no experience, no track record, and now to position yourself and present yourself to anyone, to a potential prospect, buyer, seller, as someone who have the credibility, who have the track record, who have the experience, and just to get you to a point where people take you seriously. And yeah, if you like this type of content, subscribe. I promise you, you won't regret it. This channel is all about how to buy businesses, how to then make sure we have someone else running them for us, and how to do it even if you don't have much experience or capital. So to begin with, I guess all this video is about building the perception of someone who's already successful. And the best way to do it is just surrounding yourself with people who are already successful. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the sentence, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So if you don't have experience or track record or any knowledge or understanding in something, spend your time and surround yourself with people who have that experience, who have that track record, and that alone will get you to their level eventually. Like, you're the 5 people you hang the most around with. I've got no doubt about that. So whatever you're at, you'll eventually get to their level if you just hang out with them enough time. Now, the beauty of surrounding yourself with people with that experience is that eventually you're gonna be looked at as their peer. So if you're gonna hang out with those people enough, they'll look at you as someone who's at their level, someone who's as successful as them, just by being next to them. Like many people out there who start in podcasts and things like that, they're getting to a point where they're interviewing like Tony Robbins or anyone out there is successful. And over time, when they have enough of those successful people that they interview, they are basically being counted as part of their peer group just by them literally just interviewing them. So just by you alone hanging around those people, you'll eventually be looked like someone like them. And I think it comes down to eventually understanding that, hey, you can't do things alone. And I'm talking business right now. I don't care what you are, how much hours you work. We all have just 24 hours. Yes, most of us, or many of us, if we think we're very productive, we're working a lot. I don't care how much productive you are, how much work you put into each day. Yes, maybe you can put the time of 2 or 3 people, but if you really want to scale your output out there in the world, you need to use other people and just leverage other people time and money. And that's how you scale. I don't care who you are. The richest people in the world, that's how they scale. They use other people money and other people time, and that's how you use them. You get to a point where you leverage their time, their money, and then you can focus on your biggest ideas and biggest vision. And all those videos that I'm focused on are mostly about business. And I mean, in the end of the day, business, in my opinion, is the best sport out there. I'm not the person who said that, but it's a sport that is out there 24/7 every day of the year. You can't rest. If you're gonna rest, your competitor is gonna come out there and beat you. You gotta be out there every day hustling, bringing people with you to work with you on your vision if you're the leader of that group. And you gotta be there every day. There's no rest days in business. Yes, you can rest, but then your competitor can I guess walk by you and beat you, and that's not what we want you to get to, or me, right? So don't stop hustling. And I think one really key thing about just having people around you is just getting to a point where you can trust people, because many people have that pride of authorship just because they can't trust anyone else. And I think in the end of the day, if they can't trust anyone else, it's just something with them that they can't trust in themselves, that they need to figure out. And it's I guess something more deep than they think, but it's a matter of giving out the idea of being okay with the fact that people out there will do things for you, and just being okay with them failing. I mean, there's nothing less true than the fact that you think that you can do everything on your own and you're the only person who can do that. It's just lie. I mean, I don't care how smart you think you are. People out there are smart just as you. You just need to, I guess, direct them to the right path, to the right type of work, and they'll do just as much good of work as you if you'll know how to put them in their, I guess, best positions that fit them. So how do you do that? How do you get to a point where you have a perception of a successful person? In the end of the day, it comes down to building around you some kind of a dream team to get to a point where you have a combination of everything you need in order to achieve your dreams. And again, I'm putting everything into perspective of buying businesses because that's my space and the way I'm looking at things. But you want to get to a point where you have people who understand finance, who can help you with numbers, with reviewing deals, with looking at P&Ls and balance sheet, and all that stuff, and being able to present offers from the standpoint of financials. You need to have someone understand legals, and basically just lawyers and law firms to work with you. You want to have people who understand the sector and understand everything that is related to that industry. So those things alone, you want to have people who understand and did deals before. And again, I'm talking about that group if you yourself is not one of that people. And if you're like us, we're not looking to run those businesses day to day, you need to make sure you have someone who can run that business for you, some kind of a general manager who you can give equity as part of the group as well, but you basically incentivize him to share your vision, and then just as long as you have skin in the game, you're just going to put much more effort. You just, like anything in life, if they have, I guess in business, obviously, if they have equity in the business, they're going to feel like it's theirs, which obviously true. It's going to be part of their business if they have equity, and then things are going to look much better. You have a team behind you. You're the CEO, that person who's taking care of the, I guess, making the high level decisions, and he's just basically just responsible for the vision and making sure that everyone understands their role and your vision, and everyone walking towards the same vision. So as long as you have that team behind you, that's the beginning. You gotta have that. And I know people message me about how they could potentially use me as their dream team. So 100%, it's not just me, it's me and my team, me, Carl, Ellen, John. I mean, we're a group of people combined worth of experience. That's like, I think it's like 50 years worth of experience of deals, more than 300 deals, billions of dollars worth of deals. So if you want to use us as your team, and not just that, but pretty much watch our back while we do the deals that you want, definitely see the details below and get in touch. And it's just a matter of, you don't have to have a team, but then it's just, again, you can try to do everything on your own, but it's like jumping from a plane. Yes, you can go and jump from a plane on your own at the first time and try to make sure everything is okay when you open the parachute, but wouldn't you rather do it with someone who already did it, at least for the first few times, and then you can do it on your own? It's like anything in life, it's just going to make things much more smoother and easier if you're going to follow the footsteps of someone who did it before. And many times it's just a matter of, when you're around those people, you're going to have the same type of beliefs. So things that you never saw that happened before, you're not going to believe that they're even possible. And at the same time, people who did it, they're just going to tell you, yeah, just do that. That's the next step. And just by hearing those things many times, that's all you need. Like literally the right belief, the right person around you, just going to tell you, yes, that's what you need to do. Go and do that. Get back to me with feedback, and I'll tell you what's next, because I know what's going to happen. I've been there before. I'm now going to show you what you need to do. Trust my process. And that's literally all you need many times when you have someone around you with that experience. And that alone can change everything you're doing in your life. And I think with all the team, I just want to add and say, yes, I said we need someone from the sector, from the experience, but many times they don't have to be that people from your team. So in the end of the day, what we believe in our team is that business is, any business fundamental is just, those are just business fundamentals. Like good business is a business that making sure more money coming in than money going out. And as long as you have those fundamentals, you have good people, good process, good product, you know how to combine them together, you have good fundamentals, you know how to find partners to bring in more flow of prospects and deals and all that. That's business in the end of the day. And obviously making sure not just that more money coming in, but making sure you're saving, I guess, more money to make sure you have more profit coming in the end of the day. So as long as you have someone in the team who have those fundamentals, that's many times more important than the actual sector knowledge. Just because sector knowledge, you can always bring in consultants and advisors in that field. And not just that, but many times you're going, at least us in our team personally, we're going into businesses that many times have the owner in that business who's been involved in that sector for many years, and he can be that sector I guess expert, while we bring in the fundamentals. That combination many times is all you need. Now I think another key thing to focus on when you try to build that team behind you is, people think they need to go out to the richest people in the world and bring them on their team, otherwise they have no chance to succeed, which in my opinion is not true at all. You don't need to get to, so for example, if you're looking for a business mentor, don't send your first email or try to get your first mentor to get Richard Branson, for example, as your first mentor, or Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, right? Go for, initially, when you have no experience, all you need is someone who just few steps ahead of you. Many times it's few months or few years ahead of you. That's all you need. Build that track record, start to build your momentum, and then when you have that bigger experience, then potentially if you still want to bring those bigger mentors, by all means go and approach them. But you'll see that you get to a point where after you're doing your first few deals, for example, you won't even need those bigger mentors, just because yes, they can provide obviously a lot of help and contacts and advice, but a lot of time those people with less experience can provide the same type of advice. You're just going to come from different perspective, and their contacts are just going to be different. So obviously, I mean, all of us would love to have Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and all those people, like the richest people in the world, as their mentors and one-to-one advisors. But you don't really need that, especially if you're just beginning. It just makes no sense to stop your action from. So here's my problem, right? I see people who don't take action because they feel like they gotta have Warren Buffett on their dream team. Otherwise, no man, sorry, there's just no way I'm gonna be successful because Warren don't want to be in my team, and it's just bullshit. I just want to make sure you understand you don't need that. You just need to go out there, take action, and trust me, you can make enough money with not having Warren Buffett in your team. So don't make it as your excuse to not taking action. It's like people will say, hey, I still didn't read that book, or I have accountants, but it's not PwC, it's just a top 7 firm and not top 4 firm, right? The big 4. So those little nuances, they don't matter as much. You see what I mean? It's just like a football or soccer player will say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't play today because I don't have the best shoes. It doesn't matter. Like if you're a good player, you'll be good anyway. So you see what I mean? Just focus on the fundamentals, the most important things, and don't use random excuses to stop you from taking action. For example, with our team, yes, I have in few countries big 4 firms that can work with us, but in many other places or cities, we don't use big 4 firms. We use just like either many times just our CFO to do due diligence on deals, which is more than enough. And what I'm trying to tell you is that you don't need those big 4 firms many times. Just first of all, they're going to charge you much more. And I'm talking in general, like any advisor. Yes, it's cool. It's cool to work with the biggest guys out there and the most, I guess, famous and familiar. But especially if you're doing like smaller deals and just your first deals, many times if you work, for example, with accountants with big 4 firms, they're going to take you so much, and it's not going to be even worth to do that deal just because of their fees. And just if I'm talking about accountant, I'm just going to add and say, people tell me about the fact that they are having a hard time to find accountants and lawyers to work with them on success fees. First of all, I think it's crucial for you to have those teams to work with you on success fees or on delayed fees to get to a point. And just to put it in perspective, delayed fees is basically you paying your accounting firm or law firms only if and when you close the deal. Otherwise, I saw people who spent literally multiple six figures on due diligence on deals that never closed, and that's a big mistake. And I think that's one of the main things you want to pay attention to. And that's what, if you eventually going to qualify to work with our team, we have our accountants and lawyers and all that stuff who basically we pay only when we close deals. So right, you want to get to a point where there's no way you pay fees no matter what. It's just gonna, if you don't have enough capital to afford those costs, it's gonna cost you a small fortune, literally. And I know many people and businesses who, I know even on a company that bankrupt just because they lost so much fees on deals that they never closed. So really make sure you pay attention to those potential, I guess, hiccups in the road. And it comes down to how you sell yourself, because in the end of the day, accountants and lawyers, they're making the most amount of fees or a large chunk of their fees from things like acquisitions, from M&A activities. And if you know how to present yourself right and you have the right team behind you, you'll get those accountants and lawyers next to you. But I guess it really depends. Like nowadays, I know it's a bit difficult if you don't have that experience already. If you never did anything like that before, some of them won't look at you in the right way. So yeah, just make sure you understand, though, even in the end of the day, that they need you just as much as you need them. Like that's how they make their money. So don't come from a place where you're afraid to ask for those things just because you're asking them for a favor. It's not really true, because that's how they're making shitloads of their money. And yeah, it just comes down to, again, coming back to the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. You want superstars in your team. You want literally elite team next to you. If you want to be a good runner, if you had Usain Bolt next to you, you'd be a good runner. Obviously, he got a talent and all that, right? But with everything in life, you want to be around the people who are the best in your field, who are like superstars. And when you're next to them, you'll become a superstar as well. Now, don't be afraid to pay in good salaries, good equity, whatever. Literally do whatever it takes to be around successful people, especially if you're not there yet. Like, you want to get to a point where your team, your network around you are the most successful people you can be around. Like, just make sure this is like, you should be one of your main goals in life. If you hang out with people who just drink all day, go out all day, they don't have any ambition in life, they don't have any goals, they're just eating junk and they don't care about themselves or have any kind of thoughts even about doing something big and impact and all that, don't be around those people, or just spend less time with them if they're good friends. But make sure you find yourself in an environment with people that you want to be like eventually. Now remember, when you find those people that you want to be like and have a team around you, listen to them. Make sure you listen to them, follow their steps, trust their process. Don't get to a point where you find a way to be next to those people and then you're just telling yourself, okay, now I'll do whatever the fuck I won't listen to them, I don't care about them. When you find those people and you get to a point where you're around them, do whatever the fuck they tell you to do. Dress like them if needed, walk like them, talk like them, do whatever you can to get to a point where you just following their footsteps. They did it already, you just need to be there and follow that path the same. Just smooth your path to success with them. That's all you need to focus on. And remember, many times it's just about getting the first deal. Like, after you get that first deal, you can do whatever you want. But in that first deal, do whatever you can to be around them, listen to them. Otherwise, you can make so many mistakes. Like just the one I explained to you guys, like the fact that if you don't know or don't understand that field, you can pay so much in fees just because you didn't close the deal. Like every deal that you get into, even if you sign like a head of terms or an LOI, there are chances that you won't close that deal. But lawyers and accountants will still do their work in that period, and they will want money somehow. So you want to make sure you understand that. Otherwise, you'll bankrupt just from those fees on deals that you didn't even close. So at least make sure that you're doing your first deal with people, good people around you, because it's going to be really hard to do those things on your own. Initially, there are a lot of things to fuck up in the road. Again, this process of buying businesses and business in general, it's a very simple process, but it's not easy. It's simple, it's not easy. So make sure you're not making those mistakes when you just start. After you do 1 or 2 deals with people with experience, by all means, go and do it. Go and run on your own. You already understand where you can fuck up, and then you just prepare for that. But initially, just trust someone who already did it. So yeah, I really hope you like this content, and comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know who would be the ideal person for you to have on your dream team. And yeah, let me know what kind of videos you want me to post on. Email me. I really love your feedback, guys. Comment below. Let me know your feedback, what you think, what videos you like, what you didn't like, what you think I can do better potentially in those videos. I really like getting those type of comments and feedback, and I just try to make this channel for you, to make it better. I really enjoy it so far. I know this channel is really small. We're really at like 400 subscribers, but for me it's fun. It's like I'm just throwing everything I can, all the knowledge I can on you, and I hope you get some value from it. So yeah, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon.